Hello and welcome to Podswoggle's 2015 Marcho Madness Preview. I'm your host, Chris Mullet. This is going to take you through every single first round matchup of this year's tournament with some highlights, some analysis, hopefully some jokes, because I'm doing this by myself. This is a first here for Podswoggle. Every year what we normally do is we take one day, we sim every single match in the tournament on the most recent WWE video game, and we see what happens. This year, thanks to the PS4, and thanks to its live streaming capabilities, we are streaming everything but the first round live on Twitch. Hopefully going to get some fan interactions, hopefully going to have some good commentary. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're new to this whole concept, every single year we take 68 of the best professional wrestlers in the entire world, put them in a bracket a la the NCAA March Madness tournament, and we see who comes out on top. This is the fifth year that we've done this tournament. Our past winners include Matt Morgan, John Cena, Tensai, and Bully Ray, a hodgepodge of winners. This year, who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. It already has been a great tournament. So let me stop dilly-dallying and beating around the bush. Let's take it to the highlights from the first round of the 2015 Marcho Madness tournament to set the stage for where we're going to for the rest of the tournament. Number 1 seed Jey Briscoe taking on number 16 seed Buddy Murphy. Battle of ROH champion versus NXT Tag Team champion. A good matchup. I was surprised at some of the energy of Buddy Murphy having a lot of counters to Jey Briscoe's offense. Not here, though. The kind of Dusty Rhodes-esque punch combination by Jey Briscoe. It's a very important spot Jey Briscoe is in, being the first ROH competitor to be a number 1 seed in March of Madness. Is trying to do ROH proud, and also all of the smaller promotions. We've seen in the past an ROH competitor, Eddie Edwards, be a runner-up in this tournament, losing to John Cena 3 years ago. Buddy Murphy, NXT is still new to this tournament, but unfortunately the NXT Tag Team Champions are a lower seed, and you kind of see why here. The J Driller from Jey Briscoe absolutely taking Buddy Murphy out with the 1, 2, 3. Jey Briscoe moves on to the second round. Tomohiro Ishii, the Never Champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, against Bobby Roode, multi-time TNA Champion. This was one of the best matches of the first round. Just so many overhead belly-to-belly and German suplexes like the one they just saw there. Ishii, I'm not a big Ishii. I don't know a lot about Ishii, but from this, I want to know a lot about Ishii, on top of all the hype that surrounded him online as well. As you see here, this one had plenty of high spots, including a suplex pile driver, or as I always know it, a Steiner screwdriver, through the table on Bobby Roode. That did not stop Bobby Roode from having a great comeback and locking on his finisher, the crossface, but Ishii, way too close to the bottom ropes, manages to get the break. And soon afterwards, this match was so fierce of a match. One big headbutt was enough, even though some controversy is that Bobby Roode's foot underneath the bottom rope. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Ishii moves on to the second round. New Japan's going to have a big impact on this tournament, I feel like, from here on out. Ishii's the first one to do it. Another one of the best matchups of the first round, two stalwarts of March of Madness, James Storm and Sheamus. This one's a bit of a longer preview just because of how good this match was. Big powerbomb by Sheamus on the leader of the Revolution. If you've been listening to the podcast for a very long time, you know that I am sick and went back in time and simulated every March of Madness since the 90s. Sheamus actually won the tournament in 2010, quote-unquote. There you see White Noise into the cover, and a big 2-count kick-out by James Storm. I thought when I was watching this live that was actually going to be it. Sheamus has had a lot of success in this tournament. James Storm has been a little underwhelming with his history in this tournament. He's had a couple good looks in terms of higher seeding. This year, he's a little bit on the lower end as a 10 seed, trying to get into the second round, I think, for the first time in a couple of years. Another big overhead belly-to-belly suplex, one of the main moves of the first round. They always kind of have that way of working. Sheamus top rope, just going to jump down. A couple years ago was the Rings of Saturn was the main move that was being used, overhead belly-to-bellies. And this move right here, the Northern Lights suplex into a bridge, 1, 2, Sheamus kicks out at 2, has also been a prevalent move used in the game. These guys just really lived up to the hype I had in my head. If these two actually wrestled in real life, it'd be a good, solid match. I could see it at the top of one of the hours of Raw. Codebreaker busting Sheamus open. James Storm into the cover. Big upset here. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 again by Sheamus. These guys It's a Donnybrook. It is a fight. It is a brawl. Oh, last call super kick blocked by Sheamus. Responds back with another big punch and another white noise, perhaps. Nope, or the rolling senton. We'll never know because James Storm elbows him in the face and counters. Headlock. Another Northern Light suplex with a bridge into the cover. 1, 2. Sheamus kicks out again at 2. You can see the toll this match is taking on both competitors. James Storm can't get to his feet. Sheamus, the first one to get to his feet after taking that Northern Light suplex, back on the offense, whips James Storm into the corner with authority. Picks him up again. Going to do it to the opposite corner with a little less authority. And one of the problems with the game, he awkwardly stares at him, flips him around, awkwardly stares at him some more. Just going to keep looking at him. Rolls him around. Going to look at him again. This unfortunately can be a detriment to some guys in the game. And as you see here, James Storm is going to take advantage with the Eye of the Storm. A little weird throw. I wish that looked better in the game, kind of like the border toss. Big upset here. 2, 3. James Storm defeats Sheamus and moves on to the next round of Macho Madness. You're going to get a look at the replay again. Again, white noise by Sheamus. I thought, center of the ring, what a perfect way for Sheamus to capitalize, but nope. James Storm has some resiliency. He has the moxie. He wants to do it for TNA. TNA's had a rough go of it in this tournament and in real life. And this is a big win for a TNA guy to knock out one of the highest rated guys in the tournament. Sheamus was rated 93. James Storm, I believe, is in the mid-80s. And that'll do it. James Storm moves on. He celebrates in the crowd with one of the stock 3 or 4 celebrations the game has. AJ Styles against the other half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Wesley Blake. AJ Styles, the number 1 seed, repping Bullet Club. Standing moonsault. AJ, Blake was game. Blake maybe had about 10 2-count kickouts. Here's one right there. I did not know that the game has a new OMG movement, which is basically just a dive. Here's a big clothesline by AJ on Wesley Blake. And here's some classic awful Kevin Dunn camera work right up until the dive itself. AJ hits it. And yeah, this one, AJ is another one of those guys that in the tournament's history has not had a consistent good showing. You see here him just kicking away at Wesley Blake, who could never really get out of the blocks. Another 2-count kick out. And another standing moonsault by AJ Styles. That one's going to do it. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles, second number 1 seed to move on to the next round, keeping the 16 seed streak alive. Okada, I ain't saying that first name, against Eddie Edwards, former runner-up in this tournament. All I'm going to say is when the match started and I saw Okada, I immediately wanted to change my pick for the whole tournament. He just looks perfect, despite Eddie Edwards powering him up with a powerbomb basically into the ropes, dragging him away. Whoever made the Okada Create a Wrestler deserves like a cookie or an award, or I hope I got as many. I'm going to go back and actually rate it, something I never do, and I should do for these people that are providing these wonderful Create a Wrestlers for this tournament. He looks great, and he wrestles great. He's got a really good, diverse moveset, just like Eddie Edwards does. Here you see a single leg crab, center of the ring. Okada really wrenching at it here. Edwards not making a lot of leeway and trying to get towards the ropes. Will he hang on? Yes, he will, because Okada gets bored of it. But again, these guys had a good little battle here. Nice German suplex by Eddie Edwards on Okada. Eddie Edwards been to the dance before. He wasn't able to beat John Cena, but who is? It doesn't matter because Okada, Rainmaker. If I know one thing, it's that nobody kicks out of the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada's going to be scary in this tournament. He has moved on, making New Japan 3 for 3 thus far. Adrian, Neville, and Davey Richards, of course, Eddie Edwards' teammate in the Wolves. Neville had a great year as NXT champion for most of our grading period. This one was kick-heavy and frustrating. The AI, great Hurricane Rana by Neville, the AI in this game is a detriment to the high-flying wrestlers. Because as you'll see here coming up, they continually go for this corner move where they knee the guy in the stomach, throw him out, and then, guess it's time to go up and do the red arrow. Look, he's so fast he can just jump right over the ropes. Let me take a fucking hour to get up there, and by the time he gets to the top rope, Davey Richards is up. This happened at least 6 or 7 times. Backbreaker by Davey Richards. So instead of Neville consistently hitting offensive maneuvers, he was going for his big offensive maneuver, and Davey Richards was coming back with moves that were wear down Adrian Neville. There you see Neville getting a belly-to-back suplex. Neville had this match won many times. Guess what he's going to go for here? If you guessed a knee to the midsection and throwing Davey Richards out and then jumping over the top rope again and being so exhausted, even though he just jumped over the top rope, that he can't hit the red arrow and has to get down again, then you are correct, sir. Edwards was very consistent in going after the back of Adrian Neville, probably because he was gearing up to hit one of his signature maneuvers, the backstabber. A great sell by Neville, but not a great job by 2K on his character. Davey Richards defeats Adrian Neville, knocking him out of the tournament, and us never getting to see the red arrow in the game. Here's some more highlights of Adrian Neville doing cool shit we won't see anymore. Like that Hurricane Run. It shouldn't even get a 1 count. Sunset flip spot into a cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2 by Neville. I believe it's either the same one or the second one. I don't know why this spot was so great. Yeah, it was a different one because it was only a 1 count. And the backstabber. Poor Pac. I think when guys lose in the tournament, I should revert to their previous names. Big Show, Ethan Carter III, EC3. Big Show is a all-time success in this tournament. He's a 2-time champion. First round exit last year to Christian, shockingly. EC3, we all love him, at least in the Swallow Squad, and most people in the IWC love him as well. He wrestled one hell of a match. The Big Show was dominant early, very slow, very punchy, very strike-heavy. EC3 had great psychology, taking out the legs of the Big Show, as you just saw there with a chop block, trying to knock him down to size. Big Show gets his comeback moment. EC3 bails and just starts running around trying to avoid the Big Show. If this isn't what EC3 would do in real life, I don't know what it is. Look at him getting his little shots in, throwing Big Show back into the ring when he's good and ready, taking advantage of his speed and his psyche, and really dominating the Big Show in the later half of this match. Here you see him lock on the heel hook, and this is by far the shocking moment of all shocking moments in the first round. The Big Show taps out to EC3, who moves on to the second round, much to the delight of probably everybody in the wrestling world. Jey Uso, great year, dominating the tag team division against Damien Sandow, which is weird to say, because he's mostly been Mizdow. Not a lot of sizzle to this one, unfortunately. The Usos in singles matches in a video game are not that exciting. Probably better off, besides that hip toss neck breaker there, better off probably working tag matches in real life. And also, for a video game character, Sandow doesn't have the most exciting moveset. Solid, perfectly nothing wrong with it. Suplex in the middle of the ring. Into the cover. 1, 2, kick out at 2 by Jimmy. Again, not a lot of excitingness here. But Sandow made it quick. Here is the Terminus, which I feel like I haven't seen in about a decade. Or Terminus for you Walking Dead fans, because it's spelled the same. 1, 2, 3. Sandow getting the W, eliminating Jey Uso, and moving on to the next round. Erick Rowan and Hiroshi Tanahashi, who I feel like we owe an apology to. This is the first year we've considered New Japan to be eligible for this tournament. Probably should have been a number 1 seed for the past 5 or 6 years. Great Hurricane Rana into a pin there on Erick Rowan. 1 count only. Tanahashi wrestled this match like he should have been in this tournament for since the beginning of it. He wrestled with a purpose. He wrestled pissed off. Erick Rowan is huge in this game. Really, maybe bigger than what he actually is, it seems like, at least to me. Tanahashi didn't care. Look at the devastation. Rowan sliding down on the turnbuckles. Here is a beautiful dragon suplex. Of course, Rowan's height advantage getting him the rope break to avoid the pin continuing. Tanahashi says, don't worry about that. I'm just going to kick you in the stomach. And maybe a message to the current IWGP champion, AJ Styles. The Styles Clash. 1, 2, 3. New Japan is kicking some ass first round. Tanahashi also moves on. MVP versus Nick Jackson. You notice a different screen? Well, that's because I messed up. Messed up the recording. MVP won. It's bound to happen when you're simulating 36 matches in a row. But here's the proof. MVP wins. Moving on. Dolph Ziggler and Machine Gun Karl Anderson. This was one I'd like to see in real life. Ziggler, another former runner-up in this tournament. He lost to Tensai 2 years ago. Ziggler has the disadvantage of being rated poorly in the game. Not poorly with offense there on Karl Anderson, whose legs you saw off the top ropes. Here's something I didn't know was in the game. The Heartstopper elbows, which is what they're called, all 10 of them. There's the fourth one right there. When he did it, I think in the previous year's game, he did like 3 or 4. No, he legitimately does all 10 elbows, which is just great. Even does the little Tatanka twirl there. And there's the 10th one. Ziggler wrestled this like, hey, I'm better than an 85, obviously. So make sure that I get bigger daps in next year's tournament. As you see here, flips Karl Anderson around. Zigzag. New Japan finally shows a kink in their armor. The 3 count. Dolph Ziggler is on a mission in Marcho Madness this year. Dean Ambrose and Samoa Joe, who kind of looks a little weird. And you'll see he looks even weirder with his body type here in a second. Maybe we'll see this one day in WWE. Who knows? Good match. Nothing wrong with it. Here's a good butterfly suplex by Dean Ambrose taking Joe over. Ambrose had a good showing last year, made it to the Sweet 16 before he was eliminated by CM Punk. Joe's been inconsistent and lost to Curtis Axel in the first round last year. Here you see Ambrose giving an homage to his rival in FCW, William Regal, with the Regal stretch. We're going to float Joe over here into a cover. 1, 2, not enough to take Joe down. Joe is the Samoan submission machine, doesn't want to go out with submission. And here he goes, launching into the comeback. 2 clotheslines. Ducks Ambrose's big kick to the face. Joe, Joe has been disappointing. Like I said, he's been disappointing for a while now. Counter into a flying DDT by Ambrose, possibly maybe looking for the spine buster or even a muscle buster there. Ambrose dragging Joe into the middle of the ring, and he really wants this. He really wants to get the tap out, locking the Regal stretch on again. No dirty deeds needed. Really wrenching on it, middle of the ring, and there's the tap from the Samoan submission machine. Maybe we should call him the Cincinnati submission machine. Dean Ambrose is going on to round 2 of March of Madness. Kane versus Bobby Fish. I normally speak in hyperbole. No hyperbole here. This was the worst match in March of Madness history. Kane is Kane, as he's been, unfortunately, for quite a while now. And I'm not the biggest Bobby Fish fan in the world. No offense to him. It just doesn't do anything for me. Here's a DDT by Kane. Whoop-de-doo. It just didn't mesh very well. Fish tried to do his martial arts stuff. Kane just kept blocking it. And Kane just kind of ground and pounded around with his things. Yep, see. Try to go for an exciting drop kick and just kind of, whatever, pushes him out of the way. Hits his head against the mat. Knee to the face by Kane. Oh, Bobby Fish going for a comeback. No, screw you, clothesline. Kane will take something that could potentially be fun and choke the life out of it, just like he does here. Remember Kane's smelly hand from his Embrace the Hate feud with John Cena? Well, it's back, so much so that he didn't need to chokeslam. Bobby Fish just awkwardly passes out to Kane's stupid hand, and Kane wins. Hip, hip, hooray. Much more exciting was Daniel Bryan and Drew Galloway. Daniel Bryan, a good showing last year, making the Sweet 16. Always at a disadvantage in this tournament. High rating, but smaller guy. Also submission and strike base. Doesn't always equate in the best way possible. Here they are brawling on the outside. DDT to the floor. Galloway had a great 2014 getting released by WWE and now starting 2015 out in TNA. And still is Evolved Champion as of when I'm recording this. Kick to the head of Galloway. Bryan did what he needed to do. He struggled a lot in this match. Galloway made sure. There's a big forearm by Bryan. Galloway tried to ground him, but look at this moment here. Here's the yesing. You immediately, as soon as he starts doing it, the crowd gets into it. Great job here by the guys at 2K. There's the solid knee plus. There's the pin. 1, 2, 3. Here's 2 more of that in this tournament. Daniel Bryan moves on. We're also going to get a chance to look at the replay here, show you some other highlights earlier on. Galloway, like I said, took it to Daniel Bryan. Hit him with the I'll still call it the downward spiral, or the mic check, or whatever we want to call it. The rope saved Daniel Bryan there. Giant body slam, center of the ring. Galloway so tired, barely gets into the cover. Very close 2 count. But Bryan, as you saw, battles back, hits the knee plus, gets the cover, and Daniel Bryan is going to live to fight another day in the second round of Marcho Madness. And one more time for look how happy they are. See, even in the game they get it. He's over. Just let him have fun. Daniel Bryan, yes, in his way to round 2. Yay! I had to sit through Konnor versus Viktor. If you fill out a bracket, you know that we already revealed the play-in matchup results. Well, here's your proof of what those results were. The 4 matches that were the play-ins, followed by the results of those 4 other matches. It was Konnor versus Viktor. You saw a close 2 count there. As Konnor gets a comeback moment and big clothesline to the back of Viktor. Yeah, it was the Ascension wrestling each other. So I tried to keep myself busy, tried to keep myself occupied. Viktor was pretty dominant. I was hoping for, if I had to root for anybody, it was going to be Viktor because he's a better wrestler. But Konnor, of course, is the bigger guy. Wake up taunt and the flapjack, which I think is Connor's finisher, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Konnor, one of the very rare cases in the first round where somebody actually kicked out of a finisher. Of course, it was Konnor. And a big belly-to-belly suplex. Viktor, like I said, he had a lot of double stomps, a lot of good near falls, and another big clothesline there. Viktor wasn't messing around. Gonna drag him? Nah, never mind. Gonna do another wake-up taunt, because of course he blocked a finisher just a minute ago. Get a finisher, leave a finisher, like the pinch a penny at the gas stations. Another flapjack. Gonna drag Konnor. Nope, I don't know why Viktor does that. But he gets the 1, gets the 2, gets the 3. Viktor moves on to wrestle John Cena. Jeff Hardy versus your reigning, defending Marcho Madness champion, Bully Ray. If you've seen this match once, you've seen it 1,000 times. Not a lot of intriguingness going on here. Bully Ray trying to join the likes of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, The Big Show, Triple H, Goldberg, and I'm forgetting one, and that's going to drive me crazy. Lex Luger, that's the other one, as all-time 2-time Marcho Madness champions. Live, of course, we haven't had a repeat champion, but we don't know if Bully Ray's ever going to get another chance to do it again. Who knows what his schedule's going to be like. Barely made it in this tournament, in this playoff against Jeff Hardy, who you see Jeff Hardy inconsistent in this tournament, but really, really taking it to Bully Ray. Had a close 2 count, just hit a neck breaker as well. Going to whip Bully Ray into the corner. Go behind Bully Ray, big elbow. Bully Ray knows what it takes to win this thing, and another big clothesline as well. He had kind of an easier road last year to the championship. He did manage to beat Biggie Langston, but he had to beat Abyss. He beat Johnny Gargano. Not your all-star group of people to win the tournament. Takes an elbow to the face, and then takes the twist of fate by Jeff Hardy. It's got him set up perfectly for the Swanton, but Jeff Hardy doesn't even need it. 1, 2, 3. No repeat Marcho Madness champion. Jeff Hardy moves on to wrestle Prince Puma. Johnny Mundo versus Tyler Breeze. It is the Battle of the Frills. Look at how much fuzz and fur. And they're already on the outside. Maybe a table spot with a swinging neck breaker. Nope, instead just on the concrete floor. And some stupid break-dancing parkour stuff by Mundo. Runs back into the ring. And possibly a count out here. Breeze not sitting pretty on the outside. The ref is still counting. I believe the count is at 7. We've very rarely had Marcho Madness countouts except the one year where they kept doing stupid barrier breaks. Breeze, big body slam to Mundo. This was a good match. Not great, but good. As you'd expect, a lot of high flying there. You see possibly a beauty shot almost to the point where Breeze was starting to get a little winded. A lot of springboard counters in this match. Close 2 count there for Tyler Breeze on Johnny Mundo. The supermodel kick, of course, as you saw, led to a 2 count. Another nice neck breaker there by Breeze. I like to have seen Mundo stay around a little bit and squander his career in the mid-card. Nice head scissors takeover there. And I would like to see these two work. I think it could have been a good match. Probably better than what was here. Kick caught. Takes Mundo down. Maybe a single leg Boston Crab, just like his trainer Lance Storm. Honoring him with the Maple Leaf Crab. Mundo just makes it underneath the bottom rope, saving himself. Of course, the winner of this gets to go on to wrestle Brock Lesnar. Big shoulder tackle by Breeze.
I don't know if that's a reward or a punishment. And unfortunately, 2, 3, that's going to do it. Anticlimactic, middle of the ring. Tyler Breeze defeats Johnny Mundo. Best match of the tournament, in my opinion. Goldust and Cody Rhodes, because there's no Stardust. You're going to see that right off the gate, the final cut, these guys were cranking out the signature moves of one another. Like, this match felt like a real match. Goldust, you can already tell, is so winded he can't even get to his feet. Cody crawls over to his brother. This was so epic. These guys from the get-go were just taking it to one another. Cody was flying and bouncing around everywhere. Goldust was too tired to go for that pin. Now going for another neckbreaker. Manages to squeak in a little taunt. Big neckbreaker. If he gets for the cover here, that's got to be it. 1, 2, kick out at 2. You're going to see, I had to edit to go to another part of the match because there was so much awesomeness here. Counter into a small package by Goldust. 1, 2, another close kick out at 2 by Cody. Goldust had the veteran presence overall, but Cody's had a great March of Madness career, always consistently getting out of the first round almost. Throws Goldust over the top rope. Big punch. Goldust lands to the outside. We're going to take it to the floor now, a brawl. If these guys had shown this fire at Fastlane, maybe we'd still be seeing this program on television. Cody, just like Dustin Rhodes, the Bulldog. Oh, the story. They're using each other's moves. Goldust thrown back into the ring. Cody clubbing away at the neck. Kick to the head. They were just sucking wind. Cody showing injuries. Holding his head. Can't even shake the cobwebs off hardly. Goldust struggling on his feet, using ropes. Counters away. Going for a DDT. Blocked into an arm takedown by Cody. And then picks him up. An homage to his first tag team partner, Hardcore Holly. Nails Goldust with the Alabama Slam. 1, 2, 3. It is over. Cody Rhodes moves on to face Randy Orton. Now let's take a look at what the results of these matches were. John Cena versus Viktor. Cena, of course, former March of Madness champion. He's only won it once, but he's been to the title game before. He was in the Final Four last year. Man, did he have shitty posture in this match. It just almost was as if he didn't even want to win it. He just kind of standing around it a lot. Viktor was keeping up with Cena a lot of it, just kind of like Cena had against Jinder Mahal a couple years ago in the tournament. Cena going for an elbow there. Headlock. Middle of the ring. Big DDT by Cena. Picking him up. Now he's going to hit that weird half Nelson neckbreaker thing he did like in 2 matches that is now his signature move. 1. Kick out at 1 though. Victor's got some piss and vinegar. Cena also has the attitude adjustment, which you can just already scoop in for like no other character, right into the pin. 1, 2, jorts, as Augie would say. John Cena is in the next round. Go figure. Jeff Hardy versus Prince Puma. These guys managed to fly all around, despite my complaints about aerial game in 2K15 earlier. There's a nice neck breaker. Hardy rolls Puma over. Hardy, not known for his submission game, going for the camel clutch here. Puma got a long way to the ropes. Can he make it there? He's crawling. He's crawling, trying to get to the bottom rope, trying to break the count. Is he going to get there? And he does. Puma hangs on. Punch to the midsection. I don't know the difference between punches and kicks. I've been doing so much commentary. And a Northern Lights suplex with a bridge into the cover. 1, 2. Puma just kicks out at 2. Already earlier in this match, Jeff Hardy hit a whisper in the wind for a very close 2 count. Another nice neck breaker, really working at the neck of Puma. And now, is he taunting him to get up? No, he's going to pick him up himself. Again, Puma doesn't get a lot of aerial offense in this match. Snap suplex a la the Dynamite Kid and not the other guy, whose name I won't say. Kick to the midsection. Hardy, it's weird to see Hardy play the game of trying to keep the aerial guy grounded when he normally is the aerial guy. Grabs him, gonna whip him into the corner here. I believe earlier also Jeff Hardy went for a twist of fate and didn't go for a cover. But this time he's gonna hit a second whisper in the one right on the top of the dome. And Lucha Underground, it was a good try, but the 2 and the 3. Jeff Hardy, playing winner, now making it to the second round. Brock Lesnar versus Tyler Breeze. First thing out of the gate on this video, of course, is a brutal backbreaker. I actually kept tallies. German suplex total, 4. Backbreaker total, 3. Powerbomb total, 3. F5 total, 1. That's probably a spoiler for what's going to happen, but I just want everyone to appreciate just how Lesnar is in the game. If you're worried about taking Lesnar far in this tournament, this video will probably make you feel a lot better. Into the cover on Breeze, leg underneath the bottom rope, or else that probably would have done it. Breeze can barely get to his feet. Lesnar just kicks him while he's down, because that's what he does. Going after the legs, because that's just cruel. Also a good strategy. Breeze all of a sudden jumps up, gets caught, and gets flipped around. Good Lord. Lesnar doesn't even let him take a second. Lesnar won the 2004 tournament in my nostalgic look back at how this tournament went. Puts him in the Tree of Woe just to be a dick, basically, and inflict more punishment and choking him by the neck. This is the first tournament Lesnar's been in since 2004, because, of course, the past 2 years, we've deemed him ineligible, I should say, for his activity. But as the WWE champion, you automatically get in, and here's that 1 F5 I was talking about. Don't like Breeze's body language, he basically was acting dead. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar easily moves on to the second round. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. This was a first or second round matchup a couple years ago. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Another Alabama slam, which is what he did to beat his brother earlier on in the tournament. Cody into the cover. A close kick out there by Orton. Cody, is he going to go for Orton's vintage Orton DDT? No, instead, Cody's going to throw him to the outside. Gonna go for a new oh my god moment. And something that Taz like to talk about, the hottest part of the ring right there. DDT on the apron. Orton sells it horribly. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the RKO crawls, barely, so winded, can barely get the arm. Dragon, is he going to get there? Just gets the arm on it for the 1, the 2, kick out at 2. Cody survives the RKO, hits another Alabama slam. This one might be the biggest upset of the first round. Cody Rhodes eliminates Randy Orton. Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega. This one was scary. Especially for those of you that have Roman Reigns deep. Here you see on the replay a big Superman punch by Roman Reigns into a weirdly looking Kenny Omega. 1, 2, close kick out at 2 by Bullet Club member. Omega had little streaks though. You see he has a reverse famouser there. And a great combination of moves into the scariest moment of the tournament. 1, 2, such a close kick out for people like me that have Roman Reigns in the championship. But finally a spear, finally a drag. Which is Roman Reigns at the drag. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns survives Kenny Omega. And he celebrates. Hope we don't see this weekend at WrestleMania, but, who knows? Probably will. Seth Rollins, Rockstar Spud, with an awesome bow tie there. As you see, only time Seth Rollins will have a giant size disparity to his opponent, because Rockstar Spud is so tiny. Spud was a little spitfuck, though. He kept up with Seth as much as he could. Seth tried to curtail any of Spud's momentum, any chance he got. It was a good back and forth. Anytime Spud tried to mount a little bit of offense is when Rollins took advantage. Rollins has the highest rating of the 3 Shield members in the game, even better than Roman, which is still a surprise. You see a block in the corner, throw Spud into it. Spud also, again, like I said, a little spitfuck out of the boot into the corner. Misses the super kick. Rollins going to whip Spud in the ropes. Spud counters as well. Good flow to the match. Punch into the corner on Rollins. Another chop as well. Rollins counters him, throws him into the corner. 1 punch, another punch. And so around this time, the Rollins decided that, the form were over. Back elbow reversal. And then Rollins decided enough of this. Hits the Seth Walker, Skywalker for NXT fans, into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins moves on to the next round. Bobby Lashley versus Roderick Strong. Look how good Lashley looks, and look how much like me in high school Roderick Strong looks. There you see dominated by Lashley. This was another one of the best matches in the tournament, by far. Close kick out there, Strong avoiding it. Death by Roderick. As it turns out, Roderick Strong is the master of the backbreaker. Don't know if you've heard of that before, but it's the truth. Kick out there. Going for the... another gut buster. Not a backbreaker. So exhausted he can barely get into the cover, but finally does it. 1 kick out at 1. Lashley, a little bit of a badass here. Running power slam a la his idol the British Bulldog. That's not true. 1, 2, 3, Lashley eliminates Roderick Strong. And you see him selling, shaking the ref, and such a nice man. His real name's Franklin, which I find hilarious. Jay Lethal and Doc Gallows, I also forgot to record. Jay Lethal won. Jey Uso versus Ryback. Of course, his brother Jimmy eliminated earlier on. Ryback, a former Final Four competitor in this. Again, not the best match in the world. You just saw a missed super kick. Big meat hook clothesline by Ryback. Gonna roll him over. That's probably gonna be enough. Nope, not even a 2 count. Big super kick by Us. Somewhere somebody just said, oh. Into the cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2 on Ryback. Uso's chop. Oh, gets thrown up in the coolest moment of the first round. Our only catapult finisher marching around the ring. Shell-shocked on Uso. Right where he needs to be. 1, 2, 3. Usos both first round exits. Ryback moving on to round number 2 in Macho Madness. He's going to taunt and chant a little bit here. Yep, feed. No more. Bray Wyatt and low-key. Wyatt, just dominant performance here. Low-key never really got a chance to get out of the block. Got a lot of kicks in. Never got a chance to hit Warrior's Way or the double stomp. There's the big running crossbody by Bray. Just the size disadvantage of low-key. 1, 2, kick out at 2. He persevered. He hung on. He gets kicked in the stomach. And blocked there, but right there, there's the choke slam rock bottom combination. Didn't even get to Sister Abigail. Didn't even need it. Wyatt covers him and gets the W. Bray Wyatt is moving on to the second round as he intimidates everybody and lets everyone know that he is here to stay in March of Madness, at least for one more round. Perhaps for the Swoggle Squad, the most anticipated first round match, Augie's favorite Sami Zayn versus Rich's favorite Johnny Gargano. Let's take a look at the replay. Here you see Gargano going for a powerbomb, classic arm lock takedown by Zayn. Right in following that, though, the Koji clutch, the submission moves, Sami's submission finisher. He's got it locked on. Gargano holding on, flailing about. Sami finally decides against continuing it. Wonderful, almost code red-like sunset flip counter into a 2 count. And he doesn't have the lawn dart, but he does have the high cross into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Of course, Sami loses in the first round to Johnny Gargano. Bad News Barrett and Matt Jackson. His brother was eliminated earlier. Super kick party is in full effect. Matt Jackson gave a great performance. Tried to get a tap, went for an arm headlock. Bad News Barrett survived. As you see there, sit out spine buster. Only a 2 count. Winds of Change. Matt Jackson was amazing. I almost want to change my pick. There's a 2 count there. And there's a wonderful Hurricane Rana immediately into the cover. 1, 2, 3. One young buck is moving on. That is Matt Jackson eliminating Bad News Barrett from the 2015 March of Madness tournament. Look out for him next round. The Miz and Eric Young. Don't look out for either of these guys. Here you see The Miz. I don't even remember what that's called. I think EC3 tried to do that for a brief period of time. Well, only led to a 1 count. I don't know why Eric Young also looks so weird. The Miz tells him to just get out of there. Weird combination there. And fish out of water spot. Of course, The Miz and Eric Young are known for their wonderful indie-rific back and forth counters. One thing I will say, I want to see this Miz on TV. He was like a little badass in this match. Kick out there by Eric Young. Here's the skull-crushing finale. Dead center of the ring. I don't think Lesnar should be worried. But like I said, The Miz was really good in this. He eliminates Eric Young. And we get that classic heel Miz taunting that everyone loves. Cesaro and Kyle O'Reilly. Doesn't that just look right? Kyle O'Reilly looks immaculate. Into the replay, sit out body slam right into a cover for Cesaro. Kyle O'Reilly shrugs him off and survives. This was a wonderful spot in the match. The front neck lock, the Kyle O'Reilly's bread and butter basically, really wrenching at it. Cesaro trying to power out of it, trying to hang on, trying to survive, trying to make it out of the first round after a weird year, and he does. Managed to survive there. Big German suplex. Winner of this, of course, gets the pleasure of wrestling John Cena. Kick out at 2. There's the deadlift. Almost a deadlift gut wrench. Dead center of the ring. Cesaro is winded. Kyle O'Reilly's a little fucking badass, but doesn't matter. Cesaro gets the W. He'll see John Cena in round 2. Maybe the highest rated round 2 match for character-wise we've ever had. Tyson Kidd and Swag himself, Shinsuke Nakamura. Kidd, a big drop kick there. Again, Nakamura is one of those guys that just, like, it looks like he's in the game. He looks like he's more in the game than Tyson Kidd does. I mean, it's because I don't see cats all over Tyson Kidd's ring attire. But this was another reversal heavy match here. See Tyson Kidd going to the top rope. If we learned anything from every other guy, it means that probably nothing's going to happen. And I'm right. Nakamura, big elbow to the face of Tyson Kidd. Tyson put him on his toes a lot. There's a wonderful suplex by Nakamura. Gonna roll him over. Nope, too close to the ropes. Kidd kicks out or manages to get the rope break. I can't tell because I don't have the audio on. Oh, going to the corner. Is this it? Is he going for it? There it is. A Bombaye. Bombaye. That's a week of the week on this thing. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Tyson Kidd. Kevin Owens, Adam Cole. Kind of messed this one up a little bit. If you listen to the podcast, you know what actually happened with this match. I forgot to record the first version of it, and I was like, you know what? I need to have some record of this because it was so amazing, and it was just as amazing the second time around, and the same match result happened, so it all worked out okay. Don't know what I would have done if the match result would have been different. Probably would have played a third one just to even it out. But yeah, this one was great. Cole, of course, looks like a skinny Braden Walker. Very suplex heavy in his offense. I was a little surprising about that. It was weird. Owens hit a second rope drop kick in the middle of this. Cole picked up the ring steps at one point as well. There's a wonderful snap DDT suplex by Kevin Owens into the pin. 1. Could have almost been a rope break there, but Cole just decided to kick out instead. Steen, oh, here it is. Trying to wake him up. Trying to get him ready. Going for the powerbomb. This is it. Steen's finishing maneuver. Blocked into an X Factor by Adam Cole. That is a huge, huge reversal of fortune for Adam Cole. Kick to the midsection. Big boot sending Owens ass over tea kettle. Flips him over. That's going to be a rope break. Owens lives the fight for at least a few more seconds. These guys, the Mount Rushmore exploding before our very face. Trying to get Steen up. Grabs him. Here is the Florida Keys. Or the Panama Sunrise. I think it's the Florida Keys. I always get it confused. The fucking Canadian Destroyer. Into the cover. Again, so close to the ropes, but no break this time. Adam Cole eliminates Kevin Owens and murders 2 of our brackets. Actually, more than that, murders a lot of brackets. I'm still talking because now Rusev and Alberto El Patron's on the screen. But, not necessarily a bad match. Very good. Actually, there's a great overhead belly-to-belly. I thought that Rusev had lost this in 2 minutes because I looked down and I saw a really close 2 count. Not like that 2 count. Rusev stormed back, had many close falls in this one. Did not go for the accolade. Just refused to go for the accolade. Del Rio refused to go for the cross arm breaker. 2 guys whose main finisher is a submission, and neither one of them ever really decided to try and make the other tap out. Instead, wearing each other down with kicks, wearing each other out with punches, wearing each other out with suplexes. There's a chop and a punch by El Patron, and a kick to the leg. Again, he's working on the leg. He's an arm guy. What is this here? Maybe a DDT? Nope. Suplex on Rusev, holding him up there for a few seconds and nails it. It's still weird for me to call him El Patron. I could go with Alberto, but it was just Del Rio. I'm probably going to slip and say it at some point in the next 30 seconds before this match is over, because El Patron's going to flip Rusev around. Big kick to the head. Not the kick that won the world title, according to JBL. Just that kick in the corner, according to me. Rolls Rusev over. Some may consider this an upset, but I don't. Alberto El Patron gives Rusev his first loss of the year in Macho Madness. And finally, Luke Harper in sick-looking E.T.-like Kurt Angle. Here's the replay of it. This was another great one. Clothesline over the top rope by Harper. Good shot of his handkerchief. And Harper also has an oh my god moment as Jerry Lawler runs away with his chubby face. Dive through the ropes. Awesome moment in the match. This was just a good one in general. Harper has a great head scissors. Harper also takes a great angle slam into the cover. Too close to the ropes. Angle working on the legs, as he's known to do, because he was going to probably go for the ankle lock at some point. Just great brawling outside. Angle almost got counted out of this one. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Angle actually had a comeback moment. It's not there, though. That is not a Luke Harper boot. That is a Brody Lee boot. 1, 2, 3. Luke Harper eliminates Kurt Angle, and he will be seen in the next round of Marcho Madness. And that's it. That is the first round of Marcho Madness. Hope you had a chance to count up your points in your bracket. Take note. You don't even have to do that thanks to the wonderful app we have on podswoggle.com. You can actually track your points there. It automatically does it for you once we upload all the results to everything. But now it is time for me to give you a preview of what you have to look forward to on March 28th. Make sure to check out podswoggle.com for updates on the exact start time. Same thing as Twitter, at Podswoggle on Twitter. I'm aiming for a 4 o'clock start time for the beginning of the second round. Hopefully we're going to be done by the time the Hall of Fame goes live on the WWE Network. But again, like I said, if you really want to watch the event, make sure to take a look at all these avenues to make sure what time the event's going to be jumping off. It should be sometime in the early to mid-afternoon. But here's what you have to look forward to on March 28th, tomorrow basically, from when this is airing, in terms of second-round matchups. Brock Lesnar will be taking on The Miz. Dolph Ziggler versus Davey Richards. Alberto El Patron versus Jeff Hardy. James Storm versus Daniel Bryan. Jay Briscoe versus Adam Cole. Tomohiro Ishii versus Luke Harper. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Damien Mizdow. MVP versus Seth Rollins. John Cena versus Cesaro. Jay Lethal versus Cody Rhodes / Stardust. Bray Wyatt versus Johnny Gargano. Kane versus Bobby Lashley. AJ Styles versus EC3. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Okada. Dean Ambrose versus Ryback. And Matt Jackson versus Roman Reigns. We hope to see you live as we stream off of Twitch and off of the PlayStation Network. And we hope this is better than WrestleMania 31 is going to be. That was a cheap shot, but you know what? They deserve it. This is your host of Podswoggle Mullet, signing out for the Marcho Madness first round recap.